How's it going, guys? Copy here. Today I wanted to go over leveling Frost Iris. For this, pretty much as you're leveling, you're going to just go ahead and start off with the same Frost Spirit that they give you. Once you get to about level 7, you'll be able to pick up Ring of Ice. Until then, you pretty much want to ensure that you're opening up all of the chests early on in order to get a Lonesome Ring, hopefully very early. Some Grace Boots. If you get Omniscient Prototype, that's really big, or really important at least. It helps with getting a lot of energy early on. And then you're hoping to get a Sage's Foresight staff that will carry you early on. Pretty much for this league, you do get to level using Ring of Ice instead of just your Spirit. So for that, you'll end up moving your Spirit here to your passive skills. This leveling guide is going to expect that you either have a character that you already leveled up, if you're trying to level this up as a secondary, or you're just going to have to piece this together, I guess, with less energy overall. If you do end up, if this is your first character for the league, you are still going to be putting your points mainly into Ring of Ice. This is going to carry the majority of your damage, and you'll just run a 2-link Frost Spirit with just Summon Frost Spirit and an Elemental Duo. The Servant damage and Savage Growth and added Cold will come after the fact. But pretty much this time around you get to level using Ring of Ice. So you're going to start off with Goddess of Knowledge here, and you're just going to be putting your points kind of coming across. You're just taking some damage, cast speed and such. You'll take a little bit of crit, and then you'll be grabbing your Sealed Mana, and you're basically just pushing over into this +1 skills for your 20 points exactly. And then you're going to pick up Arcanist here, because you're really pushing for this Frostbitten passive, and everything here is going to be giving you cold damage as well as minion cold damage. And then you're taking this crit strike, that's crit for you and for your minions, and the extra cold damage again here. And then you're basically getting here to about 18 points. At that point, you'll be hitting level 45 slightly after. Maybe you'll be like 23 points into this tree. At that point, you're going to drop all of your points and put them into Warlock until you get at least these points here into Indifference. And you're going to basically take the points into Indifference. You're going to grab the cooldown recovery speed here, as well as the +1 all skill levels, and then you can start putting points back into Arcanist again. And this is pretty much going to push you all the way through the campaign. Once you get to about 66, and once you have the money to do so, is when you'll basically buy your staff with T1 CDR on it, as well as a 4-second memory here. These are 100 FE at the moment. They're just going to keep going down in price, so you can take that from there. But yeah, so the only thing that changes from normal Iris leveling is basically you get to run Ring of Ice because of the league mechanic for Season 3. And then, yeah, in regards to the staff, again, you just want to go buy yourself a T1 CDR Staff. And then make sure you're hitting the breakpoints on the spreadsheet that I'll include below. That might mean that you end up needing to use a little bit of cooldown recovery speed on your relics, or on your relic and your memories right now. But just make sure you're hitting the CDR on the spreadsheet. Get some on your belt if you need to, or get some on your boots if you need to. Just kind of do whatever's needed. So yeah, other than that, I'll continue to update this as things go along with the league mechanic. Most likely, once you hit 66, you're going to want to run your Frost Spirit on your main skill here, so that you're getting the benefit of the 40% of the movement speed bonus also applies to additional damage for the main skill. And then you're basically using this with Blurry Steps, with Mania and other things on it, which should be giving you like a good 30 to 40% more damage. The swap for after 62, what you're running for 62 to 80 on Frost Iris, you end up moving, you end up going fully into your Summon Frost skill as you work on farming out your money to get your Friend Nemesis chest along with your hero memory to fully convert into like the proccing version of Frost Iris. Until then, you just want to run something like a Sage's Foresight or whatever weapon you have. You just are looking for as many main skill levels as you can. Main skill levels, spell skill levels, cold skill levels, things like that. If you have wands, you can use those. You can get a horn ring. These are like 1 FE. This is just some extra damage early on. And then you just want to run these heated rings. If you can get a second ring with this growth effect on it, this is probably going to be better than a horn ring. It really depends on the prices for them. And then you're just going for some +1 cold boots, just a general belt with some res ES. If you can get this with cooldown reduction, that's good. Your necklace will eventually want to be cooldown reduction, but you probably don't have any of this gear crafted. And then same thing for gloves, it's just ES and res for now. And then you just want to run a kingly armor with +1 to main skill level. And then I happen to have a vivid color with minus sealed mana on it, but this can just be any generic like ES helmet, most likely is what you want, with just the percent double damage, minion double damage roll on it instead. In regards to the tree itself, or the actual skills we're using, you want to be running Summon Frost Spirit on your main hand. That's because of the league mechanic. You are getting an extra 40% damage based off of your movement speed. So you want to ensure that you're using that and utilizing that in order to get extra damage on your Frost Spirit. Then we are just running a blink here with magic dash and extended duration. Oh, sorry, not extended duration. You want to run this with magic dash, cooldown reduction, and you can run this with either periodic burst or just emergency avoidance or whatever you want. It doesn't really need to have anything on there at all. I guess quick recoveries or quick mobility is fine. For nourish, you just want to be running the same cooldown reduction, mania, extended duration, and then you want to be running elemental shock. You can run dazzling bloom here instead of elemental shock if you want. That's fine. Typically for bossing, you'll want to just take off, like if it's really hard bossing, you can just take off blink and turn that into dazzling bloom as well. That will just be even more damage. But if not, blurry steps is really good damage wise right now because of the fact that 40% of your movement speed bonus turns into damage now for your main skill. So this 54% movement skill that you get right here turns into, with the 54% plus this, what is this, another 50% for mania, you're looking at like a good 80% movement speed from blurry steps, which again 40% of that is turning into damage, so this is 36% more damage for blurry steps here. And then you're running an energy fortress, seal conversion, and steadfast. And then for your other things, until you get enough sealed mana, eventually once you get enough sealed mana, you'll be able to run frigid steps here, or frigid, whatever it is, I don't remember exactly what it's called, frigid domain here. But if you can't, then just run elemental resistance, elemental amplification, and then these right here for now. And then you're going to have a auto defense with forced start and defense layers on it. In regards to the tree itself, we do end up swapping back over to God of Machines. You are just going to be using Mighty Guard for now. You're not going to swap to Isomorphic Arms until you are going into the trigger setup with the memory. Standard tree here, we will eventually finish out the Spirit Maggie points here. But for now, we got to finish out our Alchemist tree. We're going through just the same standard, all the minion stuff, minion damage, some skill radius, and then we're just looking for some ES and some minion crit stuff. You still want to minimize the amount of attack and cast speed, because you can pick it up early, but you're going to have to change it later anyways once you move to the proccing version, so until then, leave it. You do want to be running Source, of course, because you do need the minus sealed mana. And then we are running Warlock here, because we need the Indifference mod. We are running this. We're just picking up the ES, picking up the skill duration, the sealed mana here, and power effect, some percent defense here. This is all cooldown recovery, and then this is some additional ES stuff here, some elemental resistances, and then +1 to all skill levels. And yeah, so even with the version of this right now that is still only, I just hit level 80 on this, and this is the version where I am only using the memory itself. I don't actually have the chest to proc the on hit effect. We're still getting maybe around 8 to 10 million DPS, I think, here for like the spike right now. And this is for a situation where, again, we don't even have our chest yet. Once you get the chest, that's when you actually get this damage to spike up to like 100 million plus. Until then, so you can see I still have the memory here. You do want to pick this up first. The chest hopefully will continue to drop in price. I know it was like 1 FE on SS2, but on SS3 right now it's still a few hundred FE because people aren't doing city as much yet. You wanted to still be picking up like cooldown reduction. Eventually you'll want to get this one to be like cooldown reduction along with some empower effect. But for now, if you don't have enough empower effect, that's fine, because your guys aren't doing that much empowered skills yet, because they're not always being hit, because they're always freezing everything anyways. And in the meantime, you just run cooldown recovery speed and enhanced skill effect, or cooldown recovery speed for Spirit Maggie, and then some resistances or whatever you get. Just run these for now, and then we're just going to basically use this to farm into the same starter build that I have from last league, pretty much. Except we are just going to be running the magus on the main bar. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. And other than that, see you in the next one.